Mine's right there behind me. I don't have the pretty sprayed edge on the blue one.
No, the font's the same.
Okay. And like the size and everything? Okay. This is gorgeous though.
This one had that too. Or the other one had that too.
Well, I don't have that one, Hannah, so don't rub it in my face. But that's so pretty. Is that supposed to be Zeus's temple or
Olympus?
Do you know?
No, I think this is Hades.
It's the underworld. Ooh, that's the sexy pool.
I think so.
Who's sitting there?
That's Lyra. That's Hades. And that's a fox.
Let's see. I don't know. Is this Lyra and supposed to be Boone?
I think it's Boone.
That's not what I pictured Boone looking like. This guy looks more Spartan.
Yeah. Maybe it's not Boone. Okay, guys. Should we start with a massive theory that I had after taking the second set of notes?
Yes, but do we want to like officially start the podcast?
Oh, yeah, I guess we should.
Yeah, definitely, because I proved like 2 of my theories already.
Just the same.
I am here for the conversation about it. I'm not a big theorer.
Theorer?
What's the word?
Pumped.
Yeah.
It's been killing me to not be able to talk about what I'm thinking at every moment.
3 sisters with stories to tell. Books in our hands, we know them well. Flipping pages where dreams dwell. Chapter 1, here you go. Turn the light, let the words flow. Laughs and love in every show. Books sweet, hearts we grow.
All right, well, welcome back to Sister Shelf Banner, or welcome if it's your first time. This series will be about the things gods break. We just finished the things gods, or the gods, games gods, tongue twisters constantly over here.
Yeah.
So if you are reading that book first, go back and watch the first 8 episodes. But oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
Yep, this is book 2 in the Crucible series by Abigail Owens, with the games gods play being book 1.
Which is a trilogy they finally put out. So
yeah, I think she has the other one like ready to go even, is what I read. Like, because she was going to release the cover and everything, but she was waiting for this guy to come out.
So based off the first section, she had to have written all 3 of them simultaneously. Like, she had to have written
That's what I'm
one
thinking
big book.
too. That's
so
what
smart.
I'm thinking too.
There were too many lead-ins.
For you guys new here, I said a million times that book 1 was just setting up book 2. And man, did it.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I couldn't get through the first 10 chapters without like my mind exploding 10 times. Or 10 pages.
Yeah. I do just want to say that like the one big thing, I guess I'll wait to say what it was, but like I was just like, shut up about who his seer ends up being. And I was just like, no way. And by the second time it happened, I was like, definitely, this is so crazy.
We're spoiling ourselves. We're alerting ourselves.
Get right into it. I will save my huge theory for the end. But I was doing the notes, and at the bottom I say, OMG. I think that
like started writing.
It's a lot easier to like do that.
End.
Yeah.
Since we haven't read it yet, it makes it a lot easier to like.
I agree. I'm definitely thriving in the first time reading section of the series or starting the series this way. Because again, I have so many theories and I couldn't do that the first time because I already knew all the things that were happening. So I'm pumped. All right. Christy, you're up.
The shelf shakedown. Got a rapid recap that I am just going to go fly by the seat of my pants. So just going to recap the previous book very briefly. Lyra Kira's, our main character, gets entered in the Crucible, which is the game the gods make the mortals play to choose who is king or queen of the gods for the next century. Lyra gets chosen by Hades. They flirt a lot. Things get dirty between them. There are games and games and games. Lyra gets hurt a lot and then gets healed a lot. At the end, Hades actually has to give her his role as a god of the underworld for her to not die because she does like to put herself in situations where her life's at risk. So he hands it over to it. She's now goddess of the underworld. They won the Crucible. They're super happy. Everything's going to be lovely. Fairy tale ending. And then in the epilogue, They're going to try to save Persephone because that was one of the big secrets all throughout the book. Persephone's alive. It was thought that she was dead, but she is in Tartarus. And Hades gets Pandora's box, which is like a secret back door to Tartarus. The queen of the underworld and the king of the gods are just marching down with Boone and their buddies to Tartarus to try to sneak in. When they use the box, it opens the door, and Lyra and Boone got sucked in to find Kronos, who is supposed to be the worst. And that's where Abigail left us on a cliffhanger for a year. Was that was rapid enough, right? Yeah.
Perfect.
Overview.
Perfect. Because quite frankly, we're going to be reviewing book 1 a lot in this book already.
And we also have how many episodes on it? 6?
8.
8 episodes on it. So if you need details, that's where they are.
6. You're right. That's my bad.
6 episodes on it. So if you need details, that's where they are.
Yes.
Well, and I just
That
want
was the rapid recap.
Here. Once we start meeting the Titans, I was like, I wish I knew more about these people because it's going to be so hard to keep them. Their names are harder than the first book somehow. And
Yeah, well, we will hack those up in a minute. Can't wait.
yeah, my typing for those was quite interesting.
Because it's all like phonetically based. You're like, that's what it sounds like.
Did you have to Google it or did you guess?
Oh my God.
Also,
Oh my gosh, there's this one name. I don't know who it is. Mictlantecuhtli.
yeah, I didn't even try that one. He's not mentioned.
I think
He's
not
just
there.
a
God.
Titan.
He is.
He's
Yeah.
just a Titan. Okay,
Okay.
should we jump in? I'm
Yeah.
fulfilled.
I
Chapter
did
1.
like the dedication. Did you guys read the dedication? To the
Oh,
mean
yeah.
girls in high school who I let convince me to stop writing for years because they told me I was weird for this passion. Welcome to Tartarus. So like, welcome to hell, bitches.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we pick up exactly where we left off, which I loved. I hate when the second book, it's like a chapter or 2 of the backlog and all of that. You can't get back into the story. We picked up like probably the next sentence of what was
Mhm.
going on. So they're down there with Kronos, who is Hades' father, who's Lyra's love interest. So I'm gonna try as we go through this to explain a bit of things maybe from book 1, just in case we're catching people just at book 2 that weirdly did not read book 1. But so anywho, Lyra can hear Hades banging through the doorway still, and they're kind of screaming back and forth, and then it gets lighter and lighter, and then she is hoping she can still feel his emotions because of the blood transfusion in the first book where she was, tied to him and feeling all the things he was feeling, but that has been severed as well. She ties in the Rima's prophecy, how in book 1, Rima's prophecy was a huge part of the story on preventing Hades from burning the world down. And they thought they had gotten past it. And now Lyra's like, oops, maybe this is what it is.
That was my first theory that I totally just got proven with on page 1. Like, yes, knew it was still coming.
Right. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the last episode of the last book, when we were doing all of our theories, that was one of them hanging
Mhm.
in there. We needed to do that to capture all of the theories we had before we started reading.
Oh yeah, and
then
track them.
see if they actually come
You can
true.
start now.
Yeah.
Start now for book 3.
That's somebody's full-time
My
job.
purple sticky notes.
I like it starts out like, I can't say the word, but screw the universe. I knew it hated me. I just didn't think it would be this petty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
just enjoy that.
It's
It's
just
like-
don't have the every other word.
It's man. It's like in the recap, how I was talking about how she's happy. And like
Mhm.
she's never been happy. She's never had a family. It's so short-lived. A poor girl. Poor girl.
Yes.
And then I got so confused. Like I'm here for it, but this whole section, I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. Who
Oh
is
my
that
gosh, I think I
person?
know what the rest of the book is going to be, honestly. I'm key. I am in.
Okay. See,
Um,
I don't live my life like that,
So she mentions she doesn't see Persephone because that was the whole thing. Persephone was supposed to be waiting there for them. And she's nowhere to be
I
seen.
almost feel like she betrayed them. Is that one of your
Right?
theories? That
I
like
can't
that
tell
she
you
like
until we
she's
get
like,
there.
I'm good down here.
I will say I've got a big theory about Persephone,
Okay.
but I'll save it for the end
Okay.
of this section.
And we don't know what's going on with Hades here, but Lyra is just like, please don't leave me. You know, like
Yeah.
that's hard. That's really sad. Like Kronos comes in and chimes in. He's just like not being a dick. Because you expect to just like come out of the gate. He's like, I'm going to kill you. Why are you here?
Mhm.
I'm going to crush you. I'm going to swallow you up. But he's like, he's still there, but you can't hear him. There's a barrier,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah, but he says in the the first encounter, it's very clear that he's going to do everything to protect her because she's the one that is set to let them out.
That's
Yeah,
like
it's a
way
little
jumping
further.
up in this section.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's like page 2.
It is in
You
this
know?
first chapter. It's not page 2, but it's coming soon.
Yeah, he doesn't explain that until after. And
Yeah.
he's like,
He
bitch,
heard Boone.
remember?
Regardless, page 4.
You
My
just read this today. You should know it should be
Uh,
fresh.
You can pull up my notes. It goes in order.
I am looking at your notes on the screen right here. It's literally
So I highlighted in the book just she mentioned so a lot of our conversation in the first book was Lyra's attitude and the pushback and how like that's what we think Hades was drawn to and her ability to just her no bullshit attitude, which
Yeah,
she
she's not
said,
afraid to like stand up for herself, and it's actually like self detrimental sometimes.
yeah. So she's kind of giving that to Kronos, and Boone whistles at her as a warning. And she says, where Boone and I both grew up, the way to deal with bullies is to never back down and when challenged, double down. So, which kind of just ties up everything we're always saying about her.
Yeah. How much do you guys think it's a struggle for her that she's describing Kronos and how much he looks like Hades?
Just like Hades.
Like, imagine there's somebody you love more than anybody in the world, and then somebody you are terrified is going to rip you apart, and you are looking at the mirror image of the person that you were desperately in love with and having to keep that separation. Yeah. And she's like, it's a bone deep uncanny. It's not like, oh yeah, you look like your mom. It's like you are
spitting
very,
image.
very, very, very similar.
which I'm going to say this, and yes, it's like one whole page later, but it really doesn't matter. But it clearly states, Hades is his firstborn,
Yeah.
which in a lot of different cultures and whatnot, they talk about like your firstborn, like descendants or whatever, being the strongest resemblance of you.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps maybe that's more important as to why people fear Hades so much.
Mm-hmm.
He looks just like their dad. And she does talk about the myth of what happened with Kronos and his kids. Well, he ate all of them except, Rhea hid Zeus, and Zeus is the one that elbowed him in the gut to make him vomit up his kids later.
Well, it makes sense that he didn't get eaten and his sister protected him. And he's a little baby.
No,
but-
Rhea's mom.
Oh, well, still. He's a baby. He got protected.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hannah.
but the irony is he doesn't save them all. You can't be that mad at him for that. He saved all of them. They were in Kronos' tummy.
I will
Yeah, 'cause
never,
like,
never support Zeus. So
I feel that
I'm
too.
anti Zeus. So
Okay, I don't have a flag, but that was so not my point. My point was to go back to it makes a lot of sense why even the other gods fear Hades so much. If you go off the basis of how much he looks like Kronos, who
Yes.
everyone fears the most out of everything. But then on top of that, it's his firstborn, which you would assume that a lot of his powers and the level of intensity of those powers would be higher as well.
Well, and that sense of fear just looking at him. That's
Mhm.
how they all felt about Kronos. Then
Yeah.
that would carry over.
Yeah, and he's got to probably make some of the same facial expressions just by the muscular attachments and whatnot. Like, so when he makes his mad face, I'm sure they're having like PTSD flashbacks. Like, oh my god, this is what happened before I got eaten.
Jumping back into the book, so they get through and Cronus says, be quiet. There's something we find out to be feared in this space. But he specifically says, they always get worse when you arrive, which is my first foreshadow.
Yes, I'm like, as soon as he says that, I'm like, what the hell? is happening right now.
Honestly,
Yeah.
when he said that, like, I had like a not vision of like what this whole storyline is. And
Me
like
too.
the further I get into it, I'm like, I knew it. I knew it.
Me
Oh my
too.
god, I knew it.
Me too.
Yep.
It's
I like when she's like,
foreshadow
wait,
number one.
foreshadow. I like their interaction here. Lyra is like, what is he doing? Because he's like, he's looking over his shoulder. What's he doing? Waiting for backup?
Yeah.
Where's Persephone? What's happening?
Very
And then
confused.
yeah, he's like not evil right now. So it's weird. Weird.
So then Lyra again is kind of going back and forth and is like, you're an idiot. You brought the two most useless people through because they're, just became any sort of immortality, etc. And he's like, you think you are useless. It seems like you're the one not thinking clearly. My
I
theory there
think
was,
you're
did
a
you read your
total
mind?
raging. I think you're a total raging.
Yeah.
Shut up, Lyra. Are you trying to get us squashed right now? This girl.
Yeah. So jumps right into Boone elbowing her and Kronos wildly overreacting, grabbing him by the throat, throwing him against the wall. And then Lyra looks over and he's just slumped over unconscious.
With gold
What a start.
blood.
What a start to the time in Tartarus.
Yes. Because then in that moment, she also realizes her weapons have been taken away.
Things are going so great. It's pretty
Yeah. And that's, tying it back to Ashley's point earlier is when he's like, nobody's fucking with you. You're mine.
How confusing. Like, why did you do that?
So she's looking for her weapons, her tattoos, and he's just like, you got nothing. Stop.
And he calls her
fucking with me."
Lyra. And she's like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm. And he's again referencing, you've always been this way. And I'm like, what did I say? Oh, there's history here somehow. ...
Yeah. These interactions though is like, these gods are weird. He's I don't know what to think of Kronos at all. And then she's like, you
Me
know my name?
either.
It's just like obviously. Like, is it like obvious like she should know that he knows her? Or is it obvious that like he just said it? He obviously knows her name.
Yeah.
And how we've met. So then they quickly answered it, but she's lost. I'm lost with her. Lyra and I are on the same page. What the fuck's
Yes.
going on?
And he says, you will be our savior. So this is when we're for sure that it was intentional, that it's Lyra coming through that door. The other thing, let me see.
You're
So-
always so quick to fight. He says so many things like you're useful. You're always ready to fight. Like he almost seems like the same things that Hades finds endearing about Lyra, he finds endearing.
Well, in the chapter with, I hope you do not die this time. So my note is, what? Not die this time? Could this mean he's seen her in different versions or just her actual death?
Also, I picture him just like holding her over an abyss and saying, well, it might be safer down there. Like, I'm just going to drop you.
Well, so did anybody look at the picture that's drawn? The very first part of the book?
I mean, yes, I did. We were just talking about it. Oh, are you talking about the map?
Yeah.
No.
So when I
did look at it, but I didn't reference it.
because it doesn't specify what he's dropping her into. Yeah. So look at what he could have dropped her into.
What? Tell us.
Hannah is struggling. I don't have my book with me. Like the abyss and like
The lock.
4 pillars of the cosmos
Yeah.
is the outside. So he dropped her
So-
into the abyss down to the locks.
So as soon as it talks about him like holding her over this pit, I was like, no, not the abyss.
Not the
God,
abyss. It's abysmal.
Literally.
But yeah, my first note. Very happy we started right where we left off.
Oh shit. I think I skipped a page. Oh, I skipped a whole chapter.
Oh yeah,
Where am
no, I got on my way back now. Dang it.
I did want to make one little thing when she hears Hades at the very beginning and shouting on the other side, and that's kind of like the moment that her resolve kind of like hardens. She's like, absolutely not. I did not just get all of this just for it to be ripped away and whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I do remember. I really do like her. She's spunky. But at the same time, I was like, does this not smell of a true Greek tragedy? Like, they finally get together, and then she's ripped into Tartarus and is like forever there, and they're just now
Yeah.
heartbroken.
It's all
Following suit.
The Greek, man, they're
Following
just vile with these tragedies.
Okay.
all right. So chapter 2, starts off Lyra's falling. And what we're thinking is the abyss to the locks.
No,
So
we wouldn't have known that. I mean, I wouldn't have picked that up. I was just like, I don't know where she's falling to because I didn't pay attention to the map thingy, the picture. The Cronus is just watching her like he just dropped like a toy. She says like a cat like looking after a toy that they dropped. Oh yeah, still falling. Yeah.
I mean, this was a chapter, so I'll kind of read through the notes and then we can jump back into the book. But this is the first time this like red geode rock thing she describes, like a fissure in the earth, it's kind of what I'm thinking, is like floating along with her and then rushes her, swallowing her up. And then it's transports her to Hades. And she immediately notices like something feels off. You know, she's kind of probably discombobulated, doesn't know what's going on. She's like, where am I? This doesn't feel, right. And he shows up behind her and she's like, oh, Hades. And again, she's like, something feels off about him. He's kind of like, what are you doing here? And she's still confused. And I skipped right to them kissing, so I don't know.
Well, doesn't she kind of just like jump on him like, oh my God, I'm so excited to like
Yeah, and
be back
he's
with
like,
you or
you've
whatever.
never
Yeah.
kissed me before.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah, thank God. So I
okay,
whispered
well,
and kissed. Yeah.
yeah, this is not right.
And
They've
that was
definitely kissed.
the first point of, haha, Ashley's prediction that I have not shared with anyone yet is accurate.
Your hair
Yeah.
is long. You're my future Lyra.
Yeah, which same tied kind of all of my there's multiple versions, we're time traveling. And then he says she's in the middle of Poseidon's labor right now.
I shouldn't be leaving you to
his-
deal with this.
Yes. So I went back to the book because I was like, is this one of those times that he was gone and he wasn't supposed to be? But it wasn't really that. There was like
Because they weren't there anyways, right? The gods
Right.
weren't really watching Aaron. Like, she wasn't expecting him in Poseidon's labor.
Yes, it was the day after the first kiss. So that was the only part where then she's like noticing he really wants to kiss her and like that.
But you're talking about the branding kiss, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have counted that as like because he kissed her
No.
for that same passage. Okay.
I'm just giving you all reference of where it was in the first book.
Okay.
Then this is the day before because that's when Poseidon's challenge, and then that next time is when it immediately starts like she's feeling his energy towards her, like being very like devouring, if you will. So my thought is just,
this is what caused it. He's like, I like that.
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I see. I'm wondering when Hades got called away, like what I'm picturing is that all the gods kind of watch together when they're doing it, when they're participating. And I'm wondering if that window is what gave Zeus the opportunity to add more sea dragons, as mentioned. You know, like Hades being gone for that window. Do you remember that? When he's talking about Zeus cheating, he said things like, you added extra sea dragons to Poseidon's labor, you did this, and that. That opportunity was presented because he was called away.
Yeah, because he was gone all the time. So Hestia is where we left off. So yeah, there's an announcement. You've entered the lock of Hestia. It's kind of like a reflection of Hestia from however many millennia ago. Yeah, it's just kind of a recording of, okay, you're about to start Hestia's lock, or they say, welcome to the labyrinth. And that's pretty much all this chapter was.
Yeah,
Well,
Lyra
and
seems like she's trying to just. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure how important it will play later, but she does talk about she died, and they talk about that might have been the reason why they finally stopped the Anaxian Wars or war,
Yes.
whatever.
Because she was confused why she was down there.
Right.
She was like, this lady's dead. Why is she here?
And she didn't quite realize that it was like a hologram magic
Right.
version or whatever to begin with. So I don't know. It might come into play later.
Good point.
Which
Yeah.
she really
Scholars
is supposedly dead in Greek mythology.
Did scholars theorize that it was her death, not the destruction of Olympus, that finally ended the war?
She's just like, can you help me? Welcome to the Lock of Hestia. But can you help me? I am but a reflection of the goddess. What, please? It's funny.
So that's when Lyra, it clicks that she is still in Tartarus. She has not escaped. She's not in the real San Francisco. And then the lock gets explained. It's the lock is your innocence. It will test your deepest desires. And yeah, she keeps repeating herself. Lock
She
can
says
only
the only way. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You
You're
were
good.
about to say it. I thought you had gone past it.
lock can only be opened by one willing to give up what they want most.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say. The lock is the only way out of Tartarus is to open the lock. And that's something we were trying to figure out at the end of the game's thoughts play is how in the world can they possibly get out of Tartarus? And this is another backup plan. But it sounds like I feel like if it was feasible for the Titans to be able to do it, it would have been done already. So there's got to be some catch there.
Well, yeah,
Good
because none of
point.
them are innocent. There's
No, true.
none of them are innocent. They're all
There
deserve
for a
to be there.
reason. Yeah, true. Yeah, what do you mean by lock? Like she's like, this is too much. And this is how I felt reading this section. You are giving me too much information without the backstory of what is happening. What lock? What are you talking about? Who are you? Like, how do I open it? I'm in a maze. Isn't that what a labyrinth is?
Yeah, I'm imagining all of this has happened in like a 20-minute span.
Yes, it's not. It has to have been, unless she was falling for like 3 days.
So yeah, Lock of Innocence. Lock can only be opened by one willing to give up what they want most. She explains that she will not have her powers, and then they disappear.
Yep.
They're
The
more like
lock's going to test the
out
power
of
of her
her.
deepest.
Yeah, it sounded painful.
Do I have a lag or something?
That doesn't
I think
sound
Ashley might.
Okay.
Dang it.
She does like the lock tests the power of your deepest unfulfilled desire. So, her deepest desire is fulfilled. So this is what? She's
Yeah.
like, what does that have to do with innocence? I'm so confused.
She said you have a choice. You can unseal the lock and return to your real life, or you can choose the life of your deepest desires.
But while this is happening, back to you have entered the lock of Hestia.
Yeah.
Welcome to the labyrinth. The lock can only be opened by one willing to give up what they want most.
And she
She's
thought they're the creepy AI Hestia.
Yes. And it's like, that's how I thought, like a hologram that's like glitching and just
Mhm.
repeating itself. That's what I see. And then, the powers. She was dying, so it was a different experience when she got them because everything was awful.
Yeah, part of the book I notice is, I'm human, a frail mortal without a weapon. Where she's still the only part of Hades I had left with me down here, son of a bitch.
Poor girl. Can't catch a break. And she realizes, yes, they are gone. She could have been able to light a lamp, and she cannot light said lamp. So, yeah.
Yeah, and when she's explaining, you have the choice. She says specifically, even if it breaks your heart. So I'm like, of course.
Just threw me down this hole. I don't know. Why am I here? I don't want to go through a lock. I don't want to take a test. Send me back. I don't want to do it. I love her.
So then, there's a knock on her door, and it's Felix, her previous boss, and the Order of Thieves. And she's like, why does he know I'm here? How is this part of the lock? What's happening? And then she hears her mom's voice, which...
And at this point, she knows this is an illusion. Like, she's like, this is not real.
Yes.
She still is lucid enough to realize this is a test or whatever.
Says holding on to reality, to the truth, hurts her. So she starts getting pains or pings whenever she's remembering her true life versus this version that's been created.
She's already noticing little things that aren't quite right. Like, Felix was way too giddy. Like, he was just not, like, great news kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so her mom and dad, which in the first book was a pain point for Christy.
Brad. Of course his name is Brad.
Right.
What? Brad and Chad, those names. Chance.
So we kind of keep going here. She's like, they finally came for me. Not Hades, but my parents. So I tagged that one, which was sad.
Because that is her fulfilled desire. I don't even know, does she come to that realization? That's why Hades wasn't there, because she has him in real life.
I don't think she does necessarily. Maybe at the end of this, I can't remember exactly the verbiage of her getting out of it, but
We'll go back over it.
yeah. But yeah, she's still noticing like they sound off. There's a slight glamour. Again, she has a thought about Hades and is met with like a migraine or sharp pain. A small part of her is still fighting that glamour, but she goes off with her parents anyways.
She has those thoughts like, they left me, like they didn't want me. I should be asking them like, why'd you leave me when I was 3 years old? But she can't. It's easier for her to just let it go and move past it.
And then Felix, gives her a hug or something, essentially like bye, and calls her the master thief, which she's like, what? So then that's what they first reference like her new memories, and she's like having these memories of her being a master thief and very talented, not what she actually was, which is like the clerk or accountant or something.
Office clerk, basically.
Yeah, it starts getting more intense on this new version. And then she does see, a slight like sharp teeth in Felix. And she's like, did I see that right? And then everything kind of goes back to normal. So it's
And
still
this has her already, like her parents just showed up and she's already in this. Everything that just happened with the Crucible and Hades and Tartarus, it's obvious that that's just a dream. Like, this is my reality. This is what's really happening. And that most of that was a nightmare. And I'm still here. I'm still cursed. And I'm going to be free now with my parents.
Yeah.
That did not take long. I was really unhappy with her through this part because I was like, come on, girl. You're supposed to be fighting this a little harder. Ashley, I'm sleepy.
I am sleepy, but I don't really have anything to add to this part because it was all kind of just like my.
We can move through it a little more. I'll stop stopping. That's not a problem.
You're fine. It would just this part of the book was just slower for me personally. So
Yeah, I foreshadowed Felix's jagged teeth, which that does come to a close in this first part.
Does. We don't have to wonder about that long.
Yes.
you guys can go on. I'm just readjusting my pillow here.
Yeah, Boone shows up, which we love to see. And she's remembering that they're partners, they're best friends, they're like the best together, they're unstoppable, she says.
Like they didn't make her him her lover in this show.
Same.
Right? Like, and that is so what's the word? So validating that I never really thought that was gonna ever be their situation in the first book. I just always thought like he sees her as a friend and that it's not negative. She needs that. And that is what her curse gave her the barrier for. I love that it wasn't like she's actually in love with him and they're going to get married. You think, because I think that's how a lot of authors would take it.
Yeah, I'm just about to say that's like an easy route, an easy way to write. In this world, now they're all of a sudden lovers.
Yeah. No, I like it. Very happy with it.
So yeah, she kind of talks a bunch about Boone. He's like, you were just going to leave without saying goodbye. And she mentioned specifically, like, even having friends is not allowed in the order. So they have to be very, I guess, cautious with how close they actually are. So she was like, I wouldn't just ask Felix. I figured I'd find you tomorrow at your job that I'm not supposed to know about.
I don't remember that either from the order in the first book. Like, I feel like there were groups of friends and stuff.
Well, and I think probably because she didn't have friends, it just wasn't something she focused on.
And so she's making what she lived through the reality.
Right.
Rather than, okay, I like that.
That's what I'm thinking, at least. See, they sneak off to chat. Boone is cautious of her parents, which again, bonus points for Boone. Because like they just showed up one day. And yeah, they're talking about starting a business when Boone gets out, and Boone's Reed tells us, I've already paid myself off, so I'll see you tomorrow. Let's start this business. I got some money.
I'm in, partner. God's have plans for us, Lyra.
Oh yeah, which triggers her migraine.
But it's
And then she's remembering Hades at that when he says that as well. An image of a mercurial silver eyes and an unsmiling face flashes through my mind. Hades. And then she's like, I don't remember ever meeting him.
like, why do I know what his eyes look like? That's weird.
Yeah. I don't have
He
much.
reveals Lyra found out in the Crucible, but that did she? No, she found out in the Crucible that he had been free of his contract for 2
Yeah.
years already. So we knew that already, but it seemed like she just learned it. And he's like ready to go.
Well, I was just again assuming this new version of her. But maybe she didn't. I think that he told her.
I'm going to say that this her basis of knowledge and everything, it has to do with her life before the Crucible. It's like erasing that entirely. So anything she didn't know then, she wouldn't know now. And
Well,
she has to
she
separate that.
definitely. He had to have told her at some point in the last book because I knew it before.
He did. Well, he went. He was in the dream one.
Yeah.
Aphrodite's labor. He was in his cabin, and he explained
Yeah.
like, "This is my cabin. I bought it 2 years ago."
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a direct. I got released from the order. That's how it came to fruition. Look at me remembering things. That's not.
Thank you.
And then it's a lot of just like cheesy. I'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait. Yay.
Let's see. So, again, the glamour kind of is fading. She thinks she sees her parents with no eyes. And then
Yeah.
she gets closer and she's like, oh, no, that was a mistake. They've got eyes.
And she's gaslighting herself.
Yeah. The whole time. That's what I found so funny.
Yes, like completely. No, that's
Yeah. So shows up at her room at home, and then she's again kind of thinking, when did I get here? And then all of a sudden she has the memories of, getting in a taxi and driving, but it feels like a split second to her because it was.
she has more glimpses of jagged teeth too in this whole like when she gets to her parents' house. She sees her dad with them, and no, wait, I didn't see that.
They're talking about, her room at home and how she can decorate it and do all the things that they haven't touched it since she left. And I did also love like they kept like you left us, like when you left us and when you did this instead of like you gave me away.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
They literally sold her
really
for
would-
however much they owed.
I'm kind of mad that this is kind of proving my theory that they were fake parents and they were just like people trying to get like some spotlight. That these are the people that are actually her parents because I hate them.
One of my theories is that she doesn't have parents.
Yeah, they're like yes. I mean that's like our big theory that we talked about that she is a demigod. That we think that's it. So I still think these people are made up.
Yeah,
And
it's
her mind made them up from the images, from the reporters.
Yeah. I think definitely we'll find more out about her origin story at some point.
Way better. Anyways.
Probably in the last book.
Right. Number 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, her parents like have pictures of her hanging up and they're like, I know we weren't supposed to. And Lyra asks for her real name because when she was given up, they gave her a name at the Order of the Thieves. And her dad tells her real name is Alani.
Bullshit.
Like, that's the lamest name for her ever.
What does Alani? I feel like Alani probably has some like meaning, the name,
Yeah.
that ties in here. But I didn't look like liar, you know?
You're fake.
Yeah.
So
Sorry
that
for any
chapter
Alanis out there.
with her having a memory from bed with Hades. So
Because
she's
the size of the bed. She's like, king size bed. I have memories of this.
and then Queen. Like, I think that needs to mean something more for me.
And
So
she
yeah,
accepts a double because she doesn't want her parents to have to spend money. Parents have to spend money on her. It's already making sacrifices here. But all that imagery is so painful for her. Again, like, and she's having a hard time Like she's having a hard time actually bringing her back to Hades, but she's getting the smell. She's getting all of the senses, the touch of the silky sheets and the smell of smoke, and a rumble in her ear even, but it's just hurting her.
Which is like really powerful too when you think about it, because the only thing, well, not the only thing, but most of it is all like a reference to Hades. Like her love for him is so strong. It's the only thing like picking at her brain, like something's off. This isn't right.
And she fought it enough here to get through it finally.
And this is
It
like
feels
the
like
part
forever, but it
of
was,
her
yeah.
that he wasn't a part of. So there was nothing in that life to truly reference him. It's just her memories. So yeah, she's like, this is when she really starts to realize she has this, memory of being in bed with Hades. And she's like, my home is with Hades. My life is with the god of death, the king of the underworld, and I'm the queen. So she snaps out of it, and
she can see all the enchantments and glamours and like shimmers. She explains in that.
When she says she wanted this life once, but not anymore. So now everything's kind of fading away. Boone shows up conveniently in this exact moment in the doorway somehow from being, wherever they were. And it's all kind of unfolding. She's realizing we were never friends in this life. And
but we're supposed to start the business together.
Yeah.
That's out of nowhere. Oh, this guy.
And she's like feeling the most guilt about Boone because this is what she most desired. She wanted him to be her best friend and in the current life as well.
Yeah.
So,
he's the only part of it that can be true in both places because he's really there.
Yeah. So she just yells at Hestia, I've had enough. I choose my life. And then the glamours go away and her parents turn into nightmares.
Their faces melt away like candle wax and they're like hissing. Okay, did you guys picture E.T. but with no eyes here and like scary teeth? Like the skinny color and like the like kind of moist looking. No.
I didn't picture anything on this one. I was like, this is a lot. It was very descriptive though.
No, I pictured Beetlejuice, the thing with like the pointy face.
Maybe that's close to what I was picturing, or like the plague cats.
Okay, yeah, the plague cats.
Because they have like the big black eyes.
Mm-hmm. I thought of
something
that one
along
too.
that, but not exactly that. But yeah, so these creatures are called nightmares, thought to be eradicated, but apparently have been stuck in Tartarus with all the other people. Yeah, my note just says gross sounding.
Yeah.
Which
she realized she should have noticed it the whole time and stopped gaslighting.
Yeah, she's like, believe in yourself, Lyra.
And then the panic, like, I don't have any weapons. What am I supposed to do here?
Mm-hmm. Realizing she's in danger, trying to figure out she has like this doll, thinking its toenails are going to do any damage.
I picture it's like Barbie shoes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing, like Barbie high heels. Like, could this stab? Probably not.
And then, yeah, she's realizing that Boone hasn't melted away. And she's like, am I still stuck in this? What's happening? And then one of the nightmares shapeshift a sword in their hand and points it at Boone's back as threatening her. She realizes that Boone's actually real. He's just been, in some type of daydream.
I feel like the gods like to do that. They did that to a lot of characters, put them in this like daze and they have no idea what's going on. To snap them out of it.
So I have a theory about this. Do you want to hear it?
What's your theory? Yeah. Please, talk.
Well, actually, I think I should wait until the end of this to say it.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give anything away.
Well, there's not... Oh, I say that, but there's actually quite a bit I took notes on here.
Yeah. Just trust me. I'll say it in a minute when you get there.
Oh, yeah. She's trying to snap Boone out of it. She's trying to whistle. He'll duck. She throws something at him and hits him because he doesn't duck.
Doll. She hits a doll.
The pointy toes that she was going to stick.
So wakes him up out of it, and then they start fighting. And they're, rolling around trying to get away from both of these nightmares.
And their weird gray flesh swords. Like, gross. Gross. Gray
and
fleshy
how come they get to have weapons when no one else gets to have weapons? They make them with their own bodies. They make them with their bodies. A weapon is a weapon.
You mold yourself.
Unfair.
They're just rearranging their cells.
That's not what I said.
So they're fighting. Lyra breaks one of their arms, and the other one has Boone like over his head. She says they're like 8 feet tall or something. And
Like he's about to like wrestle or throw Boone. You know, like they're
yeah,
like, oh, they are back in
it,
like all the illusions are gone now. They're just back in this like cave
right.
situation.
Yes.
Bones everywhere.
So then one of the red geodes, I don't know, we're gonna have to come up with a name for this thing.
What is it?
That's how she describes it. It's a crystalline formation.
I'm sure
So
it's
red
like a
geode.
crevice kind of just floats towards her and it's got like sparkly red in it.
Yeah.
That's how I pictured it.
So it swallows her up, and then she's transported to Hades' penthouse. And same thing, she's like kind of looking for him, doesn't find him, sees he has like a display case and sees her 2 axes in there. And she's like, did he get over me that quick? What the heck? Why is he like putting these away so kindly like this? Grabs
Do you guys
one, and then the
realize what I
fisher
realized?
Accepts her name.
Yes.
Did you guys notice that the nightmares were scared of she calls it a bloody
yes.
gash?
Yes.
That they're
good.
afraid of it. They're turning away from it. I feel like that means something.
No, good point. Yes, actually, back to the axes. Was that your theory? I don't want to take
No.
your thunder.
So, no, there's a different theory.
Okay. Yes. My theory on that is this is how it went missing in the first place.
Yeah.
Yes.
That she's all the way back there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is she time traveled
Every one
so
of these
far
geodes
back
is
that
clearly a time travel somehow.
yeah, she
There's
went back
a
so
rift
far
in
that,
the
that those haven't even been gifted to her yet. She hasn't
Right.
gotten that. I
This
didn't
is
think about that.
how it happens, is what I'm assuming.
Because she's she's assuming that like Hades put them up there on display after she was gone. Like, well, I guess
She's
Lyra's
thinking
gone
it
now, so I'm
real
gonna put these up
time.
on the wall. Yeah. Because she just not realizing the time jump at all. She hasn't been put in a situation. I mean, the Poseidon one was kind of but that was the
I don't
first one
understand
and
why
she's
she
like, I
didn't
don't know what's going
recognize.
on.
Yeah, but I'm giving her a little grace because so much is going on right now. But like, clearly,
Yeah, I said how the axe went missing.
Yep. And this one, this
Um,
jump did not last very long at all. She's like already
No.
she notices that and she's like
Yeah.
questions it and is back. And of course, it's
Well,
going to
and
put more questions in her mind.
my other theory from this page, I think, was just okay, now we've time traveled a few times, and now we're thinking we traveled all the way back. So when he told her at the end of the first book, like, remember, he said, I've known for a very long time that you were going to be my queen and we were going to be
I don't think we've gone back that far because wouldn't we have seen those interactions in this? Or do you think
the
she's like,
axis.
we're not getting all of them?
The axis
But
he
remember-
lost centuries or something way before
Yeah.
he met her. So
Yeah, but
that's
he
why I'm
probably
saying
didn't have them in his
He didn't
fancy
know
San
about it
Francisco apartment.
until he saw it in the penthouse. Like when they were in the penthouse after the first or so labors, he was like, "Where did you get that?"
yeah. No, but
Because
this
it
is
was
me
stolen
foreshadowing.
from me.
Okay. But you're not trying to say that instance that she traveled back to was centuries before, are you?
No, but this
No.
is me saying because now she's seen him already. We already have that she's time traveled to Poseidon's labor. Now she's time traveled years before.
Even further back.
So
I think she's going to keep going farther back.
no, well, either way, she's going to be seeing Hades more. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm meaning by this is what he was saying. Like, I've known for a very long time.
Yeah.
But also,
Okay.
did anybody pick up on after the second time she time traveled? It made me think about him saying all the things that you have to go through if you win this labor or if you win the crucible.
That's
It's
gonna
not-
dependent.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
that
dependent
last
on-
labor choice that he was talking about.
That's going to tie into my big theory.
Oh, but just wait until you hear this one coming up. All right, keep going so I can get there.
So let's see. Yeah.
My blood sugar
So
must
she
have been low
grabs
for not
the.
to feel better.
Okay. That's an SDFU flag. She time travels back immediately after she grabs the axe.
Good call, by the way.
Right. Wow, I have another theory. Okay. Somehow they're controlling the red things. These are put in place by her. All right. Anyways, she time travels exactly back where she was. Boone's still being held up by the other nightmare. So she throws the axe at the back. Ensuring not a kill shot. She makes that, they're stuck down here just like me. I'm not trying to kill them, which was actually bizarre. Out of all the things
Yeah.
that I'm like, Lyra, what the hell?
They're
Yeah, because you're
basically
picturing like
just
an
puppies.
alien attack here or something, right? Like These things are terrifying and they want to murder me.
Just because they're
So-
ugly doesn't mean that they're evil. They're just doing what they're being made to do.
They're
They're still attacking her.
They didn't kill her,
But
and they
she
could have stabbed
obviously did the
Boone
right thing.
immediately, but they looked at her with warning, like, "What's up? Do you want to fight or you want to not?"
Yeah.
So she's just repaying the niceties.
Yeah, but she gets that, like, after that realization, she makes it through. Like, she's like, makes it through a portal and gets greeted. Right? Like, it jumps right into that. She decides not to kill them and they go through like a gate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah.
Something like that.
Throws that, Boone yanks the axe out, runs, and then they're like, they can't be the only ones. So they start running and they see they're in, let's see exactly what she says here.
There where solid rock used to be, an archway intricately carved with all the symbols of Hestia, heart in a fireplace, a chaste tree, and a kettle, random symbols, parts of the wall. And on the other side, in a massive room, stand another number of people lined up in a semicircle. Kronos isn't with them, but I can take a decent guess at who they are, the Titans of Tartarus, the rest of them. So she
But they
got
can't.
the walk outside.
Start hearing a lot of screeches overhead. Boone and Lyra take off running through the door frame where the Titans are at. And then I kind of go pretty quick through the rest of these. So we'll have to dig deeper or you guys fill in. But
Congratulations. You've unsealed my lock. So she gets confirmation. I guess it's Hestia's just voice. Yeah. You made it. You unsealed my lock. And she has a power back. Did you say that already?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah, it does. I said, yeah, it does. I must have a really bad lag.
Maybe it's me.
It's okay.
So yeah, Amazini enters the chat here. She's like, "That's new." A woman murmurs, and I highlighted this next section where she says, "Some accounts have only the Titans down here, but history, especially ancient history, written by men, often overlook women."
This is
Clearly
why we
they
love
got
these
that
books. Because all of these authors are severe feminists.
Yes.
And they just
Yep. So she gets her powers back. And
she has a mask too. Did you mention like she's like the only masked Titan? She wears like an owl.
No, I
mask.
didn't.
Which that's how she identifies her as Nemaznia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mother of the muses, tightness of memory and stories.
Yeah, so they kind of there's a bunch of back and forth, like how did she have a weapon? The nightmares
All
are
this itchy
still.
monster. And then you still have this like
Mm-hmm.
the whole entire time that this is happening, and we don't know why we have to be quiet. But keep your voice down. If you want me to keep my voice down, do you see those things? They're not keeping their voices down.
And yeah, so somebody points, I think, is that the Menismines? Yeah. Anyways, she turns around. Somebody draws her attention to turn around, and in the archway are just rows of these nightmares.
They're just standing there, not moving, doing anything, which is weird, apparently. They don't do that.
And they hissed her, "You're the only one worthy of us, Lyra Kiras. When the time comes, we will follow you, mistress. You only have to command."
And they were all bowing.
Dun dun dun.
So I did,
What's
when
that?
he said that, I did have a prediction outside of the one I'm waiting to get to that ends up being at the end of this, Lyra is going to end up being the goddess of all of them.
Yeah, that's a good
The
theory.
monsters, the titans, the
Like
Olympians.
the goddess of the universe.
Pretty much.
When
Like,
I
there
was
will be
thinking
no more
too,
Crucible. There will be none of that.
Premular.
yeah, I was thinking too that somehow that was why she didn't want to kill them. Like there's something in her that knows them on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And do we think that they're not attacking is out of respect for how she handled them and not for something else? Or we think that it's like they recognize her as like a different kind of power or something.
I think they know her.
Okay.
I think they
weird things
probably
What
have
I've
come up against her
gathered, like
before.
from what I've gathered,
were
like
all
the way
three
Cronus
talking.
is talking to her and all of that, like, and now the time traveling. Lyra's had a life before this, so
Yeah.
there's.
Many, I would say.
I would say the same. So they know her. They know her name. they bow to her, and I don't think that's something just from this one interaction.
There's also this in this area, you start seeing where things from current time are being pulled into Tartarus, where there's supposed to be no outside communication. Apatus, like wearing touristy looking clothes, things like that start coming in. You're like, how are they keeping up with mortals? How are they like dressing this way? They should be in like togas or whatever they were wearing when they were stuck in there. So that it hasn't gotten there yet. There's something said about that, kind of.
Yeah.
What
Are
if
you at your theory, Ashley?
What if no, we're still not there because we haven't gotten to what Iaptis says, and I don't want to give it away. But what if Lyra is some kind of reincarnation of Gaia, who was the wife of Uranus, they are the father, and like Gaia is the mother of all. Like
Maybe.
You're lost me on that theory because I don't know these characters.
Will you add it to our map that you made us?
this one?
Is it already in there?
Here.
Yeah, but I feel like you were
Here.
doing something on the computer. Okay, perfect. I like that theory. Like, because I do think it needs to tie back, or she is that person, right? We've always thought she was or came from some higher power. Like maybe she's just got locked in a mortal body, or somebody trapped her, and the whole thing with
Which I
Hades
just want to
released
say
her.
that would make her Hades' grandma, which is ew. But Zeus and what's the one he's with now? I can't remember her name, but they're brother and sister. T-dubs, if you didn't know that.
Don't we hate her? No, we don't hate her.
No.
What is Jackson marking?
Let me get to look for the book. It's right here. I just had already put it away.
Anyways,
Yeah, last note that I had for that chapter is one of the Titans says, well, at least she was fast this time. So that's just adding to the theory. And I said, are they saying Lyra was fast this time or Hestia?
So
I think that Lyra was fast getting through that this time. So she's obviously gone through multiple levels of this and not made it all the way through yet.
She's been here a time or two.
The only thing I don't get is my theory, I think these are some of the first times she went back. Like when she's traveling back, they would know her sooner, right? With time travel. So if Hades met her 100 years ago, then she starts building up the knowledge. Right here, it's like her first time doing it, but they're seeing her more before that with the time travel, right? That's how that has to work. It's not like a different alternate universe or something. It's just, okay.
Maybe.
I don't
Because
know.
the book starts when she's 18. For all we know, they could have given her all the memories before then. They are gods.
Yeah, but they didn't. Or somebody erased her memory.
Well, yeah, they would have had to erase and fill in. Now we're starting you back at this age.
Why you have at 3.
Yeah, why you had no parents, because you're like 500 years old. So moving into chapter 10, meet the Titans. Let's see. The Titans are bickering with and about Lyra.
Lyra has like a realization of where she is. She's thinking through like from what she knows of history, where she is, that the locks are way down far.
She's counting, the Titans, Titanesses. She doesn't figuring out which one she doesn't see. She mentions Oceanus isn't here and Menemenesi says curse that traitor, which is a whole thing. And then she's wondering where Chronos is. Ipetus. How did we say that one?
Iaptis.
She says his smile sends a slither of dread over my skin.
He's creepy.
Yeah, he's sticking up for Cronus like he saved you. Why do you have anything
Pandemonium
to pick with him?
He really hasn't done it. I mean, he dropped her in a hole, but considering how he could be, he hasn't done that bad.
Then
he does pick him.
one of them says we can always start over, and she's like, "What?"
I said that too. Like, I'm not patient. We can always start over. Like, I'm not going to be patient with you right now.
And then one of the other Titans is just like, she's not ready for that. Shut up. So again, just reinforcing.
That's Rhea, which is the mother of
No, it's
Hades.
not. That's not Rhea. That's the
Nemesis. Nemesis?
Oh, I have
Nemez.
Nemez.
That's not how it's spelled. There's not Nia.
Nemezine.
Nemazine. That's exactly what I just said.
Nemezine. Okay.
Nemazine.
Nemezine with an N.
Yeah, you need to write it out. Nemozine. This is for a second time somebody's like, that's new. And I don't think that they really acknowledge what they were pointing to before, but we find out here. Is this your theory?
This is my theory.
Okay.
Because they clarified they were
To
talking
the
about.
listeners, they're pointing at Boone.
Yes. Well, I was getting there. You didn't have to
Oh,
cut.
sorry.
Because the first time they did clarify that they were talking about, this is the first time there's been a weapon. That was the first time they said it.
It was still about Boone.
So,
had
no,
that
this
before
They
one,
the
never
second
clarified, but they were pointing and they said that's new. And then this separately, they said, why does she have a weapon too?
so right now they're talking about Boone. So here's my theory. The only reason she hasn't made it through all of these locks yet is because she had to have Boone.
As an
That's like-
anchor.
Good theory.
An anchor, right? So
And
that
now,
he was her anchor to reality.
No.
Between the like potential life and what she actually has, he was the only thing that was solid in both.
Real.
You know
well,
what I'm
he
saying?
was solid because he was real. He wasn't.
No,
blend.
what I mean, like it was going to happen. He was her future in both realities. Like he's meant to be alongside her no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with that, but
I think it ties
don't,
into it.
So I think it ties into it, but I think that one of the later locks is going to require Boone's specialties as being now the god of thieves, and because he can go
What? It hasn't been revealed yet.
invisible. Screw this.
No,
this
it's right here.
timeline.
He just like disappears.
Yeah, and I think his talents and his abilities that he was given by her bringing him back as a demigod or as a god or whatever. Like, I think all of that is wrapping it into a bow as to
All the things that needed to happen for this to be a possible
Right.
reality.
for
I
her
like
to
that theory.
actually unlock.
He is integral.
Because then when
Mhm.
you think about it again, like if she was just dropped at, 18 and filled with memories with Boone,
Yeah.
the Den of Thieves, she's
He was-
always wanted to be friends with him.
He was
Yep.
brought in later. She was there before he showed up. He was like a teenager, I think, when he showed up. The
Because he
den.
came from the Dallas den.
Yeah, he transferred. He was a transfer
Yeah.
thief.
Well, and some
I like those
capacity.
theories.
Yeah, but that's my theory.
I definitely think I was just reading over things because right before she said what's new, we were talking about Boone. So I had already assumed she was talking about Boone.
We meet Rhea, who Lyra gets a stab of pain because she has the same eyes as Hades.
Mm-hmm. Because she's Hades' mother.
Yep. Kronos' queen. And she has the same kind of like inviting nature that she found from Hesia's AI robot hologram. Like how I like that they're like hesitant. Iapsis was hesitant, like, no, new's not good. This can't be good. And she's like, if we don't introduce something new, then we're just spinning our wheels. It's, like the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. Like, thank you, voice of reason. You need something different in your Boone, maybe.
Which
be
Lyra
successful.
calls her voice of reason.
Oh, look
Mhm.
at Mary.
So yeah, they're kind of going back and forth. The Titans are fighting over wanting to send Lyra into the next lock. Rhea steps in between. She's like, she's not ready. She's literally hyperventilating. Chill out. Give this girl a second. And then she all of a sudden notices that Boone is not next to her.
Which is why she was hyperventilating, wasn't it?
Was it?
No, it was just like, I think it was just like, there's so much going on. They want me to go back in there. Like, you have this god and that god. They're arguing. Rhea like zaps over and kind of like gets between them and says like, just stop. And that's when she notices that Boone's gone. And she was already freaking out before that.
No, I know she was freaking out, but I meant the hyperventilating part. It was like it all of a sudden escalated
Yeah.
once she realized
Oh,
that Boone
sorry.
was just poofed.
I didn't realize that hadn't said she was hyperventilating yet.
Yeah, so that's when she's like wheezing and like points to Rhea. And she's like, yeah, voice of reason. And again, they're all like, shut, you're being too loud. And then she's like, Boone, where are you in her head? And then He says, "Don't react." Boone's low voice and right by my ear, and I jump a little at the sound. "I'm here. I have a plan."
Anybody have PTSD from that?
Referencing what?
From the
Oh.
sirens?
What?
The sirens in the last book when she did that to Zai?
I did think about that, yes.
I'm thinking more like the helm when he put the helm on and was like trying to get her to sneak around and get her in trouble. Is Iapetus related to Poseidon? Is it Poseidon we hated that like tried to go after? Like, are they? Because that's what he reminds me of. Like, he has
I
that
think it's
same
his
like
uncle. I think that's
attitude.
Kronos' brother.
Okay, yeah. And Rhea kind of
Yeah.
steps in and tries to be the voice of reason here, as she said. But it's do we think it's because of her relationship with Hades that Rhea is protective of her, or do you think she just wants this to be successful?
I haven't decided.
I haven't either. Remember, Rhea's the one that hid Zeus because she knew what Kronos was going to do. And she was trying to save her kids. Like, she is like the goddess of like motherhood and all that stuff.
Pretty
So
much, I think Lyra explained she's like the birth waters, blood, and breast milk.
oh, well, that's gross. But yeah. All
She
those
said
things.
it in the book. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
been
and
there.
for the record, I'm pretty sure Zeus has a kid with one of Iapetus's kids
Oh,
too. So fun fact.
Yeah, but that was where my theory with Boone is. Yeah, if he's now the god of thieves, if this is somehow one of his powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did talk about that being the potential of why he was sucked in to begin with at the end of the last book with his sneaky skills.
I don't know. I still
he-
think it was proximity.
He talked about that, or that was one of our theories?
Not one of our theories.
Okay.
I was not in agreement on that one. I think that it was just happenstance. They were both together. Like he was trying to pull her out of the way, and they both got sucked in. But
I
fate,
think there was a reason for sure. I think he was attuned to something, but I don't
Yeah.
know what it was.
That's how we got there, talking about if he saw something no one else did because of his new powers.
Felt it, more or less.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a seeing thing because there was only a crack. Okay. Last chapter of part 1. Any theories before we dive into this?
Let me check my clipboard that I borrowed from work. I'll wait until the end of the chapter to tell you the one last prediction, but then I'm going to show you at what point in my notes I actually made this prediction because I feel like it makes it so much more significant in my prediction abilities.
Yeah, I mean, mine are real strong. I had predictions on 5, and I'm like, yep, check, check, check.
Yep. Like I'm hitting the targets on this one.
All right, chapter 11. As time goes by, fear crosses the Titan's face, but Lyra doesn't know why, and she sees another geode coming, which swallows her. So the Titans seem to be fearful of this as well.
that's not what I caught on to. That's not how I took it. I think that they're seeing the pandemonium, or they think the pandemonium's coming.
Let me see.
So, because it's
That
like
was
the
reading.
reason, and the reason is because she gets really scared, and that hasn't happened with the crevice, the red crevice. Lyra feels scared. She says that it feels like Zeus slammed a lightning bolt into her. Then, everybody was looking at her. Then they look behind her. She thinks it's because of Boone, but there's so much fear on the Titans' faces, and the fear doesn't make sense. And then they
Oh.
said Lyra.
I think he shapeshifted or like threw out a projection. I don't think it actually talks about what it was, but he was very clearly, he went from nothing, like they can't see him and don't even remember that he was there, to now they're freaked out. And he was standing right behind her when he whispered.
He never became visible.
That's my point. We don't know what's behind her yet.
Okay.
She turns around and runs, and she's met with something ripped through the air with claws, leaving a jagged cut, coming straight at me. Not again. She gets sucked
I know,
into
but
the
I think when she gets dropped back in, that it was the pandemonium is why they were scared. But I could have just been taking it wrong, but that's what I was taking of it.
Or maybe all of us are wrong. We just don't know yet. It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't clarify.
Okay, we'll get through it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so
I
she got
threw us
sucked
off
through the
track.
geode crack.
Yep. So she goes through another portal and she lands at the scene from the first book right after the maze labor with all the creepy crawly bugs.
She's pissed.
Yeah, right after they slept together and he was a dick. So
This is her first time traveling back and seeing herself interacting. So I feel like this is a big point, like a big turning point in her realizing that's truly what
Yeah.
it is, and she's time traveling.
yeah.
And like this seeing the interaction brings up that she's like, should I have gotten over that so quickly? I feel like I should be pissed about this
Oh,
still.
no.
Like
You're
you
a
really
little ahead.
betrayed me. Oh yeah, I was just trying to get through the thing because
Um,
it really is just going over the exact same thing we saw
Yeah.
already.
She's
yeah, but for our
watching that.
listeners,
Yeah,
She's
sorry, listeners.
rewatching the interaction of when he was trying to make her hate him even more and offering all these lame things that only pissed her off even more to keep trying to win the labor, when the only way to win the labor would be to kill Diego at that time. And it's pissing her off rewatching it. And all she can think about is like, wow, how did I get over this so easily? Like, I'm pissed all over again, and I'm feeling betrayed all over again, rehashing all of this from afar. And then the Damons come in and swoop her away, and she's still watching as she finally gets to see Hades' reaction after she was gone, which he sends off Charon and Cerberus. He's like, just leave me. And then she comes up behind him. And that's when I feel like this is kind of a pivotal point for her in this interaction, because she asks, kind of demands from Hades, like, hey, why did you do that to me? Like, you didn't have to do that. You could have found another way. And he's like, no, I couldn't. What do you mean I had to? She's like, why did you have to? Who told you you had to? And he says, the most important words, you did. Like, she's the one that told him that you have to make me not love you to win that trial or that labor.
And she doesn't know she did it.
Yeah.
His reaction to her, is it like Lyra? No, like she says something about how he says her name, like after the why did you do that? And he's like realizing she's here. She's not the Lyra he was just talking to.
yeah, he's
Is it like
angry.
Lyra, like why do I have to deal with this shit right now kind of situation?
Yeah,
It's
he's
because
like
that's how,
always
yeah.
telling me to do things I don't want to do.
Yeah, like this part made me kind of confused.
I feel bad for him.
I do too.
Yeah, because he
It
seems like he
definitely
yeah,
changes the
says right.
perspective thing.
Yeah, he's like resentful towards her, and she's never felt that before, nor does she really understand why he's being resentful towards her.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
guy.
Which
Poor girl.
all of this only went to prove the theory that none of us actually wanted to say before this moment, that Lyra is the seer that they talk about in the first book.
Yeah.
That
You told me
Huh?
this, like, because he's like, just what you told me. You told me to do
Right.
this. You told me not to do this. You're always telling me all these things. Which he's like, you mumble unintelligible things about glamoring, which I feel like
Right.
that is probably. Do you think that's part of that alludes to the labor? The glamoring. Like he says, you mumble unintelligible things about glamoring. Tell me to do things I don't want to do. So she probably was trying to like give him information about what Zeus was doing and telling him to break her heart. I think that's what he's alluding to.
Yeah.
So I just want to show you guys in my notes. Is this what? Yeah. So I called it right after the bell was dinging.
It's Hades' dear.
So I just
I
want
don't
to say,
know what the thing was, but yeah, the first time that she met him, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to happen several times. And this has
that was
been
my
going
first
on.
confirmation.
This really
I'm
made me more
gonna-
confused, though, in reality. Like, and that's why I sent you guys that pictures, like, on this next part. Like, seriously, what the fuck is happening? Because all of this made me so confused. He goes from like, oh, why are we here? We don't even need to go over it because they just like ate each other alive. No, not in a negative way. They were all over each other.
I
Like
was
they
like,
hadn't seen each
wait,
other in
I missed
800
that.
years. Sorry, like all over each other. And then he goes like into like, I can't fucking do this again. And he's so confusing. Like, don't cry, but I can't do this. Well, you have
Well,
to
for
leave
me,
already.
It's just he's clearly been in this situation a million times
Yeah.
before.
That's why I feel so
And
bad for him. It's very clear
Yeah.
that like he
He's
doesn't
like, I
want.
don't want any part of this.
Yeah, like he feels awful. He knows that he loves her, and he knows that, yeah, she's the one telling him to do this, but he's the one that's having to pull the trigger.
And
Like,
break
and
her
it's
heart
he
over
may,
and over.
yeah, and he may know that if this works out this time, it was absolutely the right call. But how many times has he had to completely crush somebody that he loves enough to give up everything for?
Yeah.
So I just feel bad for him.
the ties between this and like all of these realizations and how Hades behaves in the games gods play, the random bad moods, the random change in his tone, it explains so much with that, where we would just thought he was being a moody man.
Yeah.
We have to eat our words a
I
little bit.
definitely. Well, I was always saying we're gonna find a reason why. Like it wasn't making sense.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up because this part from the so she says, when she's contemplating, her forgiving him too quickly, she says, even knowing how this ends, even having gotten an explanation from him that he had to break my heart so that my curse would stay intact enough to get through the sirens. I remember it being that way. Do y'all remember it being specifically so the curse would stay intact? Because I thought it was all about so that she would make her own choice.
Let me
No, the curse had to be intact so that the sirens couldn't see her. Him
I
making
get
her
that.
hate him was the reason for her to win the crucible.
So are we saying that because he loves her, or she knows he loves her, that breaks the curse?
okay. I'm trying to think.
No, the only way the curse was broken was when she died.
Well, I know, but then why does she says it twice in this chapter that my curse would stay intact enough to get through the sirens, that's why he had to break her heart.
So
But
I
in
think the
book,
wording is confusing because she had to make sure she was not playing to win, that she would still be selfless. And that was her getting her through the sirens. She could have walked straight through it, right?
but
when
she was
he,
unlovable, which is her curse.
well, what I'm saying is like when Hades did that, he broke her heart intentionally because there were two options for her, right? She tries to win immediately, like when she lost Athena's labor, that's out the window. He broke her heart before that. She still had a chance where she could have tied. And so in breaking those ties, Hades is setting her up to let her do her own thing. Like, you
Right.
don't need to win for me. Like, you keep your, this is how I took it, if I'm remembering correctly. You keep your things that drive you. And if Lyra was going in love with Hades, I'm going to do everything I can for him, she would have just plowed through that to make sure she won. She would
No,
not
I
have
agree.
saved everybody else.
That's what I'm
So that's
saying.
what I think that he means about the sirens.
Because she says it twice about the curse staying intact to get through the sirens. But the sirens' whole thing was the unlovable portion. So is it just if she started believing in love? Because I didn't get that from, like you said, exactly how you explained it was the way the first book
Yeah, but
explained
it's
it.
like the
Had
curse
nothing to
intact
do.
thing. That phrase is very confusing. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't the curse be intact?
Yeah. To me, it had nothing to do. Yeah. Like you said, it was her dying that broke the curse. It had
Okay,
nothing to do with breaking her heart.
I think what will explain it is in the last labor when or is it in it or after she has that realization why Hades did it? I think that would be where we would figure it out, right?
Well, I know the first book did not say it that way. That's why I was asking what was y'all's
I need to
thought.
read how it said it to help me like work through it. You know what I mean?
I don't think it said anything about the sirens. I think that was what Ashley had mentioned that as because they're unlovable, that's the curse is because they never really explained why she wasn't
No,
affected.
this whole thing, Hades knew he had to have somehow found out Zeus's labor, and he knew I
Yeah.
could win it because of my curse, because I can't be loved. So that, and then where did she go through?
Well, we don't have to dig into it. I was just curious
Yeah,
if
I
you guys
know.
had the same understanding.
Well, what if the curse is not a curse in the way we're thinking it is, and that it is a glamour, but it would have to be so extensive that even Zeus thought that he really cursed her.
Yeah, I mean, now with this new part 1, like there's definitely theories about the curse's
Yeah.
origination. as well. But it was
Yeah,
just
because
that phrase of
yeah,
her saying, he broke my heart so that the curse would stay intact.
yeah, because if it's a glamour, it's not gonna be like something you have to completely destroy for it to no longer be effective. Like if there is a
Yeah.
strong enough emotion, then obviously that can break the glamour like it did in the lock.
Yeah.
So that could be valid with how she worded it that way on purpose.
Yeah, maybe we find out more. I was just like, that's not how it was explained in the first book, or that's not the understanding that I had about,
Like
you
maybe
know,
it was just like for her not to
there was
pull
a
out
lot
of it.
more than just the sirens part of him breaking her heart. It was
Yeah.
that she did it on her own and made the hard decisions the way she wanted to. Anyways, that's part 1.
Yeah,
I read the next 2 chapters because I went to page 65. Because I couldn't find
absolutely.
the
We
one note, but
literally
it's
said
okay.
section 1, Christy.
Girls,
They're doing
I
all
can't
of the,
remember anything by sections. Okay.
they're
But is
all,
it
yeah.
it's in the one note, right? And I just
Cheater,
need
cheater, pumpkin eater.
a link to that.
Yes, I can resend the link, but it's all, we're doing all just parts. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. But it is
Okay.
11:30 here and I'm tired.
I know. I'm trying to wrap this up. Okay, so that's over. My big theory. Persephone is not in Tartarus. That is what he had to say because Lyra needed to get back into Tartarus. Because
That's a
she's
good
going.
one.
There's
You think
something.
Hades wanted her in there?
Lyra is controlling this. We just found out. Lyra's in charge here. She's coming back and back and back to tell Hades what to do. Break my
Let me
heart. Do this.
link with
Do
yours.
that.
Let me link with this. Somehow the Titans made Hades believe Persephone was in there because
I
they
don't
knew
think
Hades
he's
would stop at nothing to get her
purposefully
out.
deceived her.
But
Yeah, I don't-
Hades seeing her from Tartarus, because that's the only time she's glamoring.
But
Or
that it's after the Crucible. The timing is wrong. Like the timing's not
Right.
right. The time travel fucks everything up because like they just went through that and that was their reality. And Hades had not already seen her get sucked into Tartarus.
yeah, but
You know what I'm saying?
there's parts that we haven't found out yet because we haven't seen her go back and say break my heart, right?
But what I'm saying
So
is that's in
I
the
believe
future
already
still.
happened. Future and the past, depending.
Yeah, it's so confusing because she goes back to past him, but I don't think he knows. I truly believe he loves her and that the fact that he went through all that to get Pandora's box to get Persephone out.
Maybe
I cannot
Lyra
believe.
told him Persephone's down here because she knew he wouldn't send her.
But why would
But
Lyra be
would
trying
have
to
no
release the
reason to
Titans?
be in Tartarus without the Crucible.
Yeah.
I think there's something else. I think there's some other thing going on that reason why she wants to be there. Because
If
again,
she
otherwise,
herself
why
a
is she
glam-
telling them?
Yeah, if she herself is a glamour, like those formative years was all a glamour, and she's not really, 23 years old or whatever, then I could see your theory being 100% valid.
Because he also in the first book is like, I've known for a very, very long time
Yeah.
that we were going to be together, which also explains him finding her on page 5 of the book 1 up there, knowing she was just going to be up there at Zeus's spot.
But he did
But
clarify
he
that
has
he
not
only
alluded
thought that was
to. Sorry.
them in Elysium later, like when they're both dead. He
He
thought it
hasn't,
was like
there's been no future like series of them actually getting Persephone out of Tartarus. There's been no mention of
Right.
seeing that in the future. So that's where I'm saying I think that what she saw was up to that point, them living happily ever after, and she was trying to get him there. That's her traveling back. Let me get you and me through this happily ever after. My curse is broken, all that shit. And now I think like Kronos with him being able to shift time. We missed something important that was said about Kronos doing something. He was like finding ways to break Tartarus over time. Did you guys remember reading that? In the first section, he was finding ways to break Tartarus over time, but he could never get all the way through. So as Ashley mentioned, when we were first getting into this, we learned about Kronos. She was saying he's the father of time. I think they are his manipulations for his purpose, which is to get it out of the place, Tartarus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yes, Lyra's Lyra's more like a pawn in his game at this point, even if she is more powerful. The fact that she can be the solution alludes to something big about her. But that's how I'm seeing this, that Kronos is sending her back. He's sending the red
Or-
flashes like, I want you to go back here and do something. I want you to go back there and do something.
So what if he tried it first with Persephone and Persephone died in one of the locks, like died?
Maybe. Or she's stuck even farther down there.
Yeah.
You know,
And
he tried
then
to send her
Lyra,
through.
she's-
Maybe he stole Persephone because he thought she was the solution. And he put her through them and she's either stuck or dead.
Because it has to be
To
somebody
add to
innocent
that-
to get through the first lock.
To add to that, we questioned in the first book, how does Persephone know where to be to get out?
Yep.
If she was sucked in, how did she know? So it's Lyra. I'm still thinking maybe no Persephone, but somebody came back, Lyra or Persephone, telling Hades all of this information.
Let me find this and maybe it will like help us. I know we've been on here for forever, but it was important and I actually meant to bring it up when we were reading through, but I think it might have been in one of the sections that we went through quickly. But it
I
was
don't even
talking about
remember
Kronos.
reading that even slightly.
I don't either, and I read it twice.
Are you sure you didn't read a supplemental somewhere?
Well, Christy, while you're doing
Well,
that,
it's
we
not in
can
the next two
move on to
chapters.
bookends. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You're spoiling
Oh,
it,
way
friend.
to go. I literally said no spoilers just a couple hours ago.
I don't think it is.
I'm telling you, Hannah and I both don't remember reading that. Hannah read it twice.
I'm sorry. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not.
Well, let's pick it up on next week's episode.
Sorry.
It is
Bookends.
10:40 p.m.
11:40, and I get up at 4:30 Eastern, so
Yeah.
I'm
You don't
sleepy.
sleep anyways.
And I had a migraine.
Okay. Bookends.
Yeah, bookends. Does anyone want to start? I haven't given it any thought.
No.
I can go. My worst was the end of the chapter when she like made out with Hades and then he's like gets really confusing, which was the very end because I was seriously, the whole thing was what the hell is going on to me because I'm not theorizing anything. I'm just reading it. You know, I'm like, I don't stop and think about like, what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? That's what the book club's for me. And then let's see. I would say that all the creatures bowing down to Lyra, that was my favorite part.
That's a good one. Say that your worst is my favorite part
Really?
of that piece of information. Of, like Hades feeling kind of tortured in the moment and just all of the emotions of it. And then obviously us finding out that, again, Lyra's been driving this boat.
Yeah.
That was
That she
the
that's the realization
high.
to see her, right? Like
Yeah. The low. I don't know. I really enjoyed this first part, to be honest. What would I say is
it was
my
fast
lowest?
paced.
Just all of the freaking Titans. Like now we have new characters to figure out, and there's not like any context of them. They're just like randomly having a conversation. Then it skips to another one. Then it skips to another one. I can't pronounce their names. I cannot keep track of who's talking, or so there's no theorizing coming from that. I have no idea about any of the other Titans besides Rhea.
I feel like the Titans were presented to us very similarly to how the gods were presented to us in the games gods play. Like they are so holier than thou that they don't need to introduce themselves and explain who they are. They just banter and show up and demand. Like they're very similar in that sense. And I think Abigail Owen did it on purpose because it immediately establishes that superiority that the gods like
Yeah.
put themselves in.
That's a good thought.
I honestly
Thanks.
prefer it that way because I can't stay with books that give me too much like backstory,
Yeah,
especially if
that's
it's
true,
an backstory across 15
But-
different characters. Like they're gonna
Can
pick
they
and
be
choose
like
which
Brad
parts.
and Charlie? Do they have to be in
No.
the moment?
It is like
But so
anemone.
But
Can we
here's the
rename
other
this
thing.
person to Mary?
With
Hippopotamus?
no, but with those characters, she shouldn't need to because she's sticking as close as I can see
Sure.
to Greek mythology that, and a lot of people have some standard of understanding, maybe not Americans because our education system is in the toilet for the last 50 years, but like, so it's kind of like if you see 6 different brands of cars, like you shouldn't have to give the backstory because everybody sees them all the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you also
No, that
with her
totally makes
staying
sense.
so
I'm aware it's
close-
my own issue.
No, I mean, like, but with her staying so close to it, you can go back and read something like like a general, like, who is this god? Like, give me a 5-sentence breakdown, and it would still translate to the book.
Yeah. All right, Ashley, your bookends.
I don't really have any. I mean, the suckiest part was I realized that there's basically more laborers, and that was the slowest part for me because it's just so inconsequential to the ending of the storyline. Like, I could have gotten there so much faster, and that's frustrating for me. But
The book.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, yes, I know to some extent it's got to be there, but like, it was tiring. Like, even when you guys were recapping it, I was just like, ugh, I'm tired.
You
I think
literally texted and were like, "This
You're
is the
too
best thing.
tired right
I
now."
remember loving it." Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
think
it's
it's
because I sped
more
right through that
State of
part.
mind.
because you were
Well,
very
like, we talked
excited
about
about
it
it.
longer than it took me to speed read through it on top of that because, like, I kept, like, skipping parts because I was like, well, okay, I already know that's coming. So, like, I can't,
It's
I just
okay.
hope it doesn't
That's fair.
turn
You're
into
tired.
the same old,
Thank
same
you for
old.
participating. Can I, before we
But,
go, you know how we were talking about connecting the books? Maybe like we go back and we read a part that's like, so that's like, oh my God, why didn't we see that? Like, so before we go, Lyra, when she's like, she's about to win the Crucible and everything, she's saying that Hades shared all the secrets. She knows everything now. Why he needs to be king of the gods to get Persephone out of Tartarus. And she discovers that it's connected to how Hades found out about the sirens being part of the laborers. When I asked, his expression took on a wicked glint filled with laughter and a suspicious sort of knowing. I have an inside source, he said, someone who can see the future. She's like, an oracle? There hasn't been an oracle born in centuries. I'll tell you someday soon. Just know that this person can see multiple futures. So that might help us with our theories for this book.
mhm.
She is how I knew about the sirens. She is who told me to break your heart when I did. I'm pretty sure I don't like this source, she muttered darkly, which made him laugh. Because she is the source. She's who told you to make. She's who told me to make you my champion. So this goes back to Lyra even saying, like, you need to pick me. And the reason that he trusted that she'd come out unharmed because she told him that he'd be king of the gods, which meant you'd win. And you believed her, but you're not king. I'm not so sure this source is trustworthy. And he just like seems unworried. Like she expected him to be suspicious or like mad. And he's like, I told you. She sees multiple futures. As long as I have you, we'll figure out the rest. Like he has her and he had their, like he's gonna have her. Like they're each other's futures. I don't know. I think reading little things like that after you know that he's going back and talking to her, it's like, that's why he was being so weird and smug and like wicked grinning. So it didn't help me
Yeah.
solve the other problem, but I am going to just drop it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. And oh no, we lost
I
Ashley.
think my phone just died.
Oh, but we can still hear you.
So, anyways, that's part 1. Join us later this week for part 2. Follow along all of our crazy theories. Make some of your own. Send them to us. And yeah, bye, sisters.
Love you, sisters.
Okay, I love you too. Bye.